just typing.
I know. I was trying to piggyback off
Oh,
that.
hold on. I gotta take this call, so I'm
Okay.
gonna mute you for a second.
Okay. Hello, everyone. We did start, and it still gets called
Piggyback off
straight
that.
away.
Hold on.
That's hilarious. And it looks so deliberately edited. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our discussion of our favourite moments in Star Trek. You know, just small, little discussion today. We thought something a bit general and a bit, but one that all of you can have hopefully great thoughts on, because it's quite a broad franchise, and I've got some screen caps on the films, but on a short notice, we covered the topic a few hours ago, and we want to know what your favourite thoughts are, your favourite moments are, because we're such a wonderful community here at Trekyards. And what are your thoughts? But yeah, Star Trek. It is a great thing. It's weird not having Stuart even to talk to. And I'm trying to log out of a thing to a thing. But how's everyone doing tonight? What day is it? It's Wednesday. New Discovery tomorrow. What are your favourite moments? Yes, Tony Floyd. It's an epic picture. An epic
What's
moment.
up?
Yes. Everything alright, Stuart? Do you have to run?
I don't. I've just been waiting all day for a phone call because yesterday we went out and bought a new stove and oven.
Yes.
And waiting all day to find out when the hell they're going to deliver it. And of course, they call the exact second that the live stream starts. So I can't miss the call. Get the call tomorrow morning between 9:30 and 12:30, which means I'll either be here at 7:30 in the morning or 5 o'clock at night. So yay for me. I hate their time windows because they suck. I'll sleep until 9, but they'll have a knock on the door at 8:30. We're here. Hello. If you're a delivery person, smarten the fuck up. Don't do that to people. Sorry. I'm good now. So, best moments in Trek.
Yes. Sorry, that's funny. I have one specific moment that I've buffered here, because for me, I think we all know, but I've said so many times, but Into Mirror Darkly is a superb two-parter. One of the best two-parters and definitely best Enterprise episodes. And this moment here, where the Defiance bridge turns on, and you see this full scope bridge, a scope bridge we haven't seen since the 60s. They never recreated it until this moment. And it turns on. You don't know how intense, how full they're going to be with this Connie. Are they just going to show the bridge? Are they just going to, walk on it and destroy it? Who the hell knows? And it all turns on. You're like, holy hell. And it looks good. That was a hell of a moment for me.
And they had contractors build that to the specs of the original one, and they did it within a weekend. I mean, yeah, if you're paying the union guys to do something, damn, it can get done.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes other people months or years to build one of those, but that's all on volunteer hours and stuff. Yeah. If I had to build one, if I ever had the money, I would just hire some union guys and go, you know what, guys, I want it done in a week. I'll give you a little bit more time, not a weekend. Take a whole week, build the damn thing, and there you go. And that's how you do it.
And I guarantee they also liked Star Trek, because if you imagine, if there's a contracting team, a company, and they say, right, we're being contracted to build an original series bridge, and all people that have Trek put their hands up, say, can we do it? So they work even harder, do it even quicker, and even higher quality. I guarantee it's what happened.
Yes. Yeah, that's a fantastic moment to see that bridge fire up.
Just the whole episode, so many moments, moments of epicness.
And interestingly enough, the railing in that is not like the TOS Enterprise. This one's rounded. The Enterprise is kind of the squared off. But that's just because each Constitution class bridge has slight modifications, a little bit different. So not a lot of people know that, but now they do.
And it's one of those things that I didn't even realize that it was not circled the first time round. You know what I mean?
I didn't notice it either till Doug mentioned it. Yeah. And then I thought, okay. And then I went and next time I was watching, I'm looking for it, going, oh, damn.
Yeah, you go to TOS and it's like, oh, huh. And then this one is like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It just works. And it does make more... Well, although it's funny, I mean, I've designed 3 bridges I think I've designed 3 bridges, and it's weird that really the bridge is made of segmented like components and consoles that are obviously flat because they've got to be flat to control, but they interlock in a certain way, and you put them all together and it suddenly feels sort of circular even though it's actually super segmented, but just because they're all at an angle. It's real weird. So it's more linking to have the railing be segmented, but you mentally think the bridge is a circle, so the circle makes sense too. So either way, it just
Yes.
And
yes.
The moment before that, where you get to see the Connie in the dry dock, and again, we didn't know how far we were going to see, and this is, back in the time when they cared about doing canon right. It was a good,
Indeed.
good day.
And updating it. It looks weathered and updated, and it looks great. And then when it pulled out and fired the rear photon torpedoes, you're like, rear photon torpedoes? What? Yeah. The Defiant had rear photon torpedoes.
And the thing is, that's the great conceit. It's not the Enterprise though, and that's exactly. Nice, because why wouldn't you have slightly customized different Connies? I mean, you can imagine the captain of Defiant might just have insisted that he has some tactical retrofits. Maybe the Enterprise didn't exactly fight, a ton of battles considering. Maybe the Defiant was a much more tactical base. Maybe it was on the front lines a lot. Maybe it dealt with Romulans or Breen or something. Not Breen, Gorn. It was totally within the realms of, it wasn't a retcon so much as a altered con. Decepticon.
Yes.
So I've got some other moments, but we do want to let you guys decide some fun moments.
Please let us. Yeah. Even funny moments like our thumbnail, life form.
It's such an iconic.
It's when, yeah. Anyway, stuff like that is hilarious. Like, there's some really great moments with Garrick and Deep Space Nine that.
I'm also going to share this. Sorry, so you chat. I'm just going to share this. Be quiet for a minute.
Sure. Yeah. Lots of little character moments and stuff. So it's kind of hard to pick because there's so many scattered throughout all of Trek. Some within the same episodes. Every episode probably has at least one that's kind of like one that brings a smile to your face. So, yeah, interested in hearing what your ones are, and we'll talk about those, and that'll generate more conversation. And So, also feel free to super chat. That's always appreciated. It does help out the channel. Or click any of our links down below if you want to help us on a monthly basis. There's Patreon. There's also the Teesprings store. There's some really cool Teesprings merchandise, Trekyards stuff that you can get. I actually got a few new things. I've gone to Sticker Mule, and I'm getting some sample coasters sent to me. So I might even get coasters from them. So you can have Trekyards coasters and stickers and stuff. But waiting for the samples on those. So anyway, if you want to help out, you can. One of the best ways to do so is a super chat, because we definitely see it. It goes in a separate super chat window there. And we'll have to answer your question or read your comment. And give a big hand to the admins, Jeff Jacobs and James, that are here. I think there are a few others. Ian might be here, but they are doing a great job. And with 112 people here, come on, we should have at least 40 or 50 likes by now. Just start off with a like. That's always a good thing. Don't wait till the end.
But on the window now is the moment in the motion picture. I mean, this must be one of people's favourite moments. You would assume.
Yeah. I
mean, I never saw it in the cinema in the same way, and I'd certainly, if they were doing like a new anniversary edition in the cinema, I'd probably go see it. I'd definitely go see it. But is this a favourite moment in all Trek? The rather long refit reveal.
I've watched it once, but I usually fast forward this part.
Watched it once.
Yeah.
So what?
Maybe twice. I usually fast forward this part. It's just boring. It's so long. It's like a couple minutes of just wasted, looking at a ship. Like,
and lost 1,000 subscribers. Holy hell! That's a revelation. That is. Gosh, Stuart, I can sympathise, but gosh, you're Mr. Trekyards and you're... In reality,
I probably watch about 10 million times because I keep playing the scene over and over again when I'm building an Enterprise model to make sure I get everything right.
Okay.
So, and I've built quite a few of those, so I was just being me. I was trolling. That's right, trolling.
It was good though. That was nice. I think I've only watched like 5 times I never go back and watch that movie. No, if I watch it, I watch it. But
Which one, the motion picture or Star Trek 2? Because it's the same thing.
I've watched 2 a lot more than 1, but I don't watch a lot of movies again if I know them so well, because I know them so well.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch stuff because there's so many new things you could watch that, you know, deserve the runtime of your life. You know, if you only have a certain amount of, if you can only watch one thing a day, do you pick Friends or do you pick a brand new show that's excellent? I mean, you know what I mean.
Depends on my mood.
Yeah, exactly. Another moment I had was, and the Karn reveal. Pretty cool moment.
Which one?
The reveal in 2. These are all movie ones because I don't have time to go through, you know, the multiple many shows and moments. But I thought in terms of seeing Ricardo Montalban back and just the epic costume and the slow reveal, you know, letting the audience enjoy the moment. Although I wonder how many people remembered what it looked like.
That's a good question. There's not a lot of. Well, it was playing in syndication, but it's not like the VHS and stuff for
Existed.
Well, they existed. They just weren't readily available to a lot of people. I don't think.
Oh yeah,
at that
VHSs were available at Wrath of Khan time.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they were. Huh. But it was more for the rich people that had the VCRs and stuff. But yeah, the music in that scene as well just added to that, and that was a perfect reveal. Very well done. But yeah.
Oh wow, they released in Japan in 1976.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean they were used otherwise, but wow, that's old. So I was ever that old.
Oh yeah. Huh. Well, there's so many things from Wrath of Khan that I absolutely love, especially the battles. I mean, ship guys, right? So just any of those scenes with the battles are fantastic.
Yeah, which is actually one I have for Star Trek 6 is, although I hope to have more of his hand in, but when he says fire, that moment is just
fire.
It's brilliant, especially since they were absolutely getting annihilated up to that point, and the tides turn very, very quickly. But it's so satisfying a moment.
Yeah. Adam Boots puts in £2. Thank you very much, Adam.
Hey.
Love the Voyager Crash sequence in Timeless. Well then, sir, you're gonna love us because we have an episode coming out specifically about that with some behind the scenes stuff. So
yeah, that's a good story and it's well told. And yeah, that sequence is both artistic, snazzy, and sad. Because I mean, we saw the A get blowed up. We saw the D get mostly blowed up. Voyager, that's the equivalent. Destroyed, decimated. Yeah. E, I wouldn't give it the same level of we saw that got almost destroyed. And then DS9, obviously, we didn't. The original Connie, we didn't really.
No.
The B, certainly not. C, no. So, yeah.
Well, the C, sort of. I mean, we saw it right before it was about to explode. Then we fixed it a bit. And then we threw it back into the fold.
Okay.
Bye, guys. Or into the fray. So. Yeah. But yeah, that's a great sequence. One of my favorite ship-related sequences in all of Trek. And there's a really great episode coming up on Trekyards about it. So stay tuned.
And it is so tricky to do things that take place on a planet. Once you add it has to look real. Once you add a sky, once you add ground, especially at that era, tricky and yeah.
We got a really weird cryptic super chat from John Harrison of £2 that says, "Hello there. It's me, but not me." I don't know if it's the John Harrison thing relating to Khan, but anyway. Or his wife commandeered his YouTube channel and is giving us super chats.
I think he was referring to, I think that might have come in when we were still on the Khan picture. And so it's saying, it's me, but it's not me. John.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Ian Warrender, our admins and mods, puts in £5. Super chat works like this. Favorite moment, Wave the Warrior, when the Klingons scan the station and get the same ready as pilot, but this time no bluffing. The Klingons scan the station and get the same ready as
readings pilot. As pilot, maybe?
Oh, Yeah, maybe.
They think it's damaged and no weapons, and all weapons come out.
Yeah, no weapons, and we got 5,000 photon torpedoes or
Yeah.
whatever. It's like, no, you don't. You're bluffing. Really? Bring
Yep.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was an awesome sequence.
And just seeing, when they only had miniatures, a miniature death battle sequence, and everything was so carefully done for what it was and when it was, it looks brilliant. And yeah, I mean, we physically held that torpedo turret.
Mm-hmm.
I made a quick shot of that. And it's surreal, but that's one of the better DS9 ship moments, I think.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Seen a lot of old D7s in service, or I guess Katingas, but yeah, absolutely great shot. Michael Smith puts in $2. Sulu as captain in the undiscovered country. Fly her apart then. Yeah, it was great seeing.
I have
Sulu.
a picture of that. Haha.
What's up?
I have a picture of that. That's Sulu.
Oh, of course you did. But yeah, because there had been talk about that for a long time, and it's cool to see one of the other bridge officers kind of, leave the fold, as it were, and go do their own thing. So yeah, that was absolutely fantastic. I also liked when when Christian Slater comes in and they're asking for location of Enterprise. Tell them we don't know location of Enterprise, sir. Do you have hearing problems, mister? It's like I'm gonna look out for them. So that was awesome.
It shows how much commanding presence he had and was never given a chance to use it. Although to be fair, I think him looking as old as he did then helped, because he did look a lot younger,
Yeah.
Him in the motion picture would look like a fresh young one. That suit looks sort of the part.
Well, I mean, we see a lot more of his character in Starfleet Academy, the game. He was really kind of fleshed out in that. A lot of people may not have seen that, unfortunately, but it's really worth checking out. Just going on YouTube and checking out the cutscenes for Star Trek or Starfleet Academy.
Well, it's actually the last time Kirk appears as Kirk in costume.
Yeah.
He's got less hair, weird face, like hue, and he's a bit fatter. It's after Generations, and he after his death he went back and did it. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's really well done too. John Harrison again, £2. Yes, Commander. Now bring me back on screen, please. Yeah, bring Khan back on screen.
And I'll bring his chest back on as well. This is what I did for yesterday's stream. There you go. Your chest, sir, is now in full display. Although I don't know why people would think it was a fake chest. It's like, really? They put that much effort, You just work out,
Because Ricardo Montalban's not like a buff dude, really. He never was.
Yeah,
so,
but had you ever seen him shirtless before that?
I'm sure you did in a movie or two. So you have to check his filmography. I know he was doing Fantasy Island for a long time right before this.
Yes.
So I don't know. That's a good question.
Thank you.
Gmon78 puts in £5.
Thank you.
TNG standoff at the end of the Defector. Picard. Then you shall have it, Mr. Worf. Klingons decloak. Checkmate. Yes. Yeah. That was an excellent scene.
And that kind of reminds me of the Lenny Moy quote I said yesterday, which was, we can either go via violence or strategy. And the first option should be strategy. And so that could have been this epic shootout if they had the budget. But no, it should have been the end of the road for Enterprise. It should have been a drastic moment, but it was a tactical chess move, and it plays so tangibly. Like Tom Locke's like, damn it, or whoever he was. God damn it.
Yeah, it's like playing chess, and you think you have the upper hand, and all of a sudden it's like checkmate, and you're like, didn't see that coming. Bye.
Although it would have been a really good battle if that had been. Although that should be like a fan recreation, with digital effects, because it's quite easy to build that scenario, and then have them actually have a big shootout. Because was it 1, 2, or 3 Darrow Dexes, or was it a single Darrow Dex? And
I think it was 2 at least.
I think it was. I'm gonna go back and look actually, because I feel like
because I'm pretty sure it was at least 2, but they usually travel in packs of 3, so I'm kind of second guessing myself now. I just know there's the Enterprise, and then 2 bird of preys behind the
Yeah,
Enterprise, and 2 behind the Romulans.
I'm gonna find the still because one, the Darrow Dex would assume that the D could probably toe to toe with, but 2 or 3 would be maybe not.
Yeah.
Let's have a gander.
Tony A puts in $5.
Okay, yeah.
I love when Quark goes on his whole big rant about the Ferengi reforms and channels Picard. The line must be drawn here. I died laughing. Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, Quark's got some very memorable speeches, but that one is quite amusing.
Although, I've watched, I think, TOS the least out of all the shows, but DS9's a close second of just least I happen to have watched. So I don't remember a lot of the DS9 best bits in the sense of like very focused remembering. I think also because it's so much less episodic that a lot of it's just flowing narrative of, oh yeah, this set of stuff happened, but then you ask what happened in part 3, you're like, probably this. What was the B plot? Jake and Nog something. Whereas TNG, it's certainly more distinctive, the episodic stuff. And here we go. Here is the shot from Defectors. You actually have 2 Darrow Dexes versus the Enterprise D and 3 birds of prey. But is that a fight that's actually a fight?
I always assumed there was another bird of prey on the other side of the Enterprise that we didn't see because it would just make sense.
Yeah, I don't assume too.
But yeah, I thought I remembered 2, so that's good. My memory's not that bad.
I'm assuming these are implying their cavorts.
Yeah, the big cavort, or the greater bird, according to FASA.
Because if they're Burrells, this is no threat.
Yeah, the Burrells are actually parked behind the Enterprise, the ones that look like they're behind the Darrow Dexes. They're so small, they're just closer to camera.
I still think the Darrow Dexes would do a damn fine battle here, though. Like, if they had one more Darrow Dex, that'd be, I don't know.
Yeah, one more, I think it'd be pretty fairly matched, or even the odds in the Romulans' favor, I think. But
especially if they all like open fire on the same bird of prey each time, like, as soon as you lose 2 birds of prey, it's all over. You know what I mean? You need that numbers advantage. But yeah, that's a great moment, guys. Good pick. Good pick.
Very good pick.
Back to the fans.
Fat Produce puts in $5. One of my favorite moments is in Wrath of Khan, where Saavik gets scared by Kirk punching glass on Regular One. Or she jumps because he's pissed, yeah.
I don't even remember that moment. What?
Really?
It's not striking out to me.
Well, it's on Regular One when I'm just trying to think when it is now, actually. Yeah. I remember her jumping.
But isn't that because she heard something? When did he smash through? Was it a smash through to open a door? Was that what happened?
When he went to open the crate that Chekhov and Terrell were in, and he smashes the button.
There we go.
Yeah.
I was thinking when he was like walking through the corridor, I was like, da-da-da. But no, it's a little bit after that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, for what it's worth, the moment of the bug, the City Alpha eel, that's a strong moment.
Yeah. I don't know if it's one of my favorites though.
No, but I think in terms of effect and kind of cool factor, it worked.
Yeah. One little mistake from the voyage home with the in the hospital. Didn't you come in with a female? One little mistake. Anyway. Fat Produce puts in $2. TOS Spock's brain, givers of pain and delight. Ah, yes. The givers of pain and delight. Brain. What is brain?
I feel like I've just zoned out Spock's brain from my brain. It doesn't exist in anyone's brain. No.
Yeah, well, it exists, sadly enough. I'd rather watch some JJ stuff sometimes than that, or I don't know. That's maybe.
Are there good? Okay, if we did Spock's brain as a review, are there like good character moments that you can look?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there are a few, especially with McCoy.
Okay.
But yeah, there's some really bad stuff though. Like Spock walking in the turn. It's like, wow, 1960s, do your
They're
thing.
just filling time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find.
Squadron.
I'm trying to find a
Oh,
good scene to spark off. But yeah, sorry, go for it.
all right. Squadron Course puts in $5.
Thank you.
TNG, The Offspring, when Haftel was telling them Law was going to die, his hands were moving faster than I could see. Yeah, there's a few good moments in The Offspring actually, where he tosses the ball at her and it's like flies by and then. Yeah.
It's got some good. It's got some good stuff. I mean, that TNG is just a good show. It's just.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just a good show. There's so many good bits.
Yeah, and they're scattered, like I said, throughout all of Trek. It's hard to just nail some down. But that's why I'm glad you guys are saying stuff in the chat, because it's really helping us out with jumping off of your points. Fat Produce again.
Oh.
Puts in $5. Spock's V'ger mind meld as his jowls shudder from a mind meld too hardcore to handle. I don't remember his jowls shuddering, but
he almost cries in one of the moments. He's filled with emotion.
Mr. Trailer, I gotta agree with you there. That is definitely one of my favorite moments. It's a fake. Romulan from In the Pale Moonlight. That's a great meme too. Nuclear vessels. Yeah, having a Russian asking a cop where the nuclear vessels are during the Cold War was great. Matt Hammond puts in $2. Picard playing the Klingons to get a cloaked ship. Yeah. Adam Boots puts in £2. William Wyndham's acting in Doomsday Machine. Not anymore, but not anymore. Yeah. Decker was a little, I don't know if it's good acting, but it was acting of some kind in that movie.
I think the fact that you bought it says enough about the goodness of it, you know?
But not anymore.
And this is a moment that I found from All Good Things. I thought when the Dreadnought D comes out and it fires its phaser lance and absolutely rips through a Negvar. What was that like the first time you saw it?
Pretty impressive, I gotta say. Just seeing the Enterprise like swooping in to save the day, or swooping up to save the day, was fantastic. Plus, it had a third nacelle. It was Dreadnought-like. I was like, ah. And then just, slicing through the ships is like, damn. Why is this even a battle? Why have they not decimated the Klingons at this point?
They've got Cloak, Warp 13, and a weapon that can go through shields and destroy in one hit. But that's the thing, that very rarely do God ships work. But if you use them correctly, it's so satisfying, like the Krem Time ship. You know, destroying civilizations is so impressive in the situation, same with the Chronoton torpedoes. And so this coming in is very satisfying. It's very like, oh.
Yes.
And, you know, to destroy a Negvar is like... Should have been... Almost should have been a Darrow Dex, because that would have been more iconic. Negvar only appeared like twice.
Yeah. Have you seen the last episode of the Orville?
Yeah. With the
environmental simulator.
No, I saw the one where the Bortus's race dude. Yes, that guy, the engineer guy.
Yeah, that's the one. I was just gonna say one of my favorite scenes in all of Trek is where you see not really. You see the Enterprise and the Excelsior side by side, and then the Excelsior banks off. Mm-hmm. By God, that's a big ship. You know, that's a great scene, but it was duplicated exactly in that Orville episode. You got Orville, and then the Mauchlin's ship, same exact thing, and it peels off. It's like, really? Plus, there's a 1701 reference in there, 1701.07. As the time index for the environmental simulator, 1701.07. So that's like the Galileo.
And they call out the ship's computer is so, even has wording that's exactly what TOS would be. You know, Computer, what's the holodeck station? Simulation is like, oh, this is right out of Magel's handbook. That's a good episode. I liked the episode a lot, actually. I
did too.
I thought the Orville part of the Trek favorite moments discussion. I thought a lot of season 2 hasn't had the strongest payoffs. That one had a good, like, it had one main story that was very focused and a strong payoff, whereas they haven't been quite as good with. Same with the last one with Isaac. Long, pretty much single episode, single story, strong payoff.
Yeah.
And then obviously setting up the, the Alara replacement lady, who I know from other things, so it was nice to see. Was
I like her better actually.
You like
we're
her
gonna have an Orville discussion talking about the episodes.
Yes.
Soon.
Hopefully, you guys will join.
Yeah.
There's many people to join to make them worthwhile.
Bill Barkley says the Playmates Enterprise had to fold away nacelle. That was only the transwarp version. There's a transwarp version of the Playmates Enterprise that could be the regular Enterprise, or you could transform it into the Galaxy X. Let's see here.
Dylan McKillen?
What's that?
Dylan McKillen super chat. Did you read that one? The decor.
I'm getting there.
Good.
Getting there. Yes. DS9 Core and the Dahar Masters, the first ever Klingon death, taking out 10 ships. Wish they would have shown it in the episode. Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. But yeah, even hearing about the Dahar Masters added another level of mystery to these guys that were around since the TOS era. Absolutely. Fat Produce, Shaka, when the wall wasn't funded. Moving along.
And what do you think of that episode? Because I've only seen it twice, I think.
It's very interesting premise. And the alien captain, that's Captain Terrell from Star Trek 2, in case anybody didn't know that. It's the same actor. But yeah, speaking a race that speaks in metaphors seems odd. I don't know how they would ever develop. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It was an interesting premise, and I think it was well done. But fighting the monster, having to be unified against this monster on the planet. Thought it was a weird way to set up negotiations with another species. You know?
It's like Tellarites are bad enough with argumenting. How do you keep track of that? And so to deal with a race in where language is... it's a case study on potentials, but I don't know if it could practically work. You know? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Trekyards, when the hosts disagreed. Gmon 78, 10 pounds. Thank you very much. Way of the Warrior, Sisko to Gowron, I can assure you, this old cat may not be as toothless as you think. Right now, I've got 5,000 photon torpedoes armed and ready to launch. Love the Sisko. Yeah, we had mentioned that one earlier. Absolutely. That is a fantastic scene. And the look on Gowron and Gul Dukat's face, it's just like, is he bluffing? It was just perfect.
And it also signifies DS9's them actually realizing and showing to the audience this is an important station, because to arm it with that much tech, that much hardware. I mean, torpedoes don't just make themselves, though you probably make a way of making themselves. And it would have been great. Again, imagine if that had been in, well, you've seen some Babylon 5. There are some shots where, there's all these cannons firing, you see all the flak stuff, and it would have been great to see a VFX, if they'd got to that point, if Season 7 actually had come to DS9, and they had to do the station being attacked by 20 bug ships, and you actually see all the cannons firing, real torpedoes in different places, and you got these cool zooms, and that would have been incredible. What we got was brilliant thematically, but it would have been great to see it like fully realised in 3D. Well, that would have been the great finale to a DS9 movie. They come knocking at our gate, and then we have to use everything. And then you see the new quantum launchers that have been upgraded, and they come out in other little pods, and it's just blue fireballs of death and destruction and booyah.
Boom shakalaka laka.
Yes, that.
Fat Produce puts in $2. Says Star Trek 6 Bones. What is this? Multiple choice? Don't really specifically remember that scene. I know it's on Repente. At least I think it's on Repente. So you're kind of drawing a blank for me there. So I apologize. Ian Warrender puts in £2. Kirk's happiness when Miramani says she's pregnant with his big 70s sideburns. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Fat Produce adds to that by $2. I am Kirok. Kirok.
I like that episode, actually.
I hate that episode.
I also love the preservers as a concept.
Well, I like the preservers part of it. I like the having to deflect the asteroid part of it, but the whole Kirok thing was just remarkably stupid, and I
remember thinking it was nice, but was it overplayed and too not quirky, too campy?
Kiraki.
Yep. And I'm googling TOS and the moment I particularly. You always have certain episodes. Obviously, I watched it when I was younger, so I have different like memories stick in your mind more. I always love the episode. And I know I watch this more than most of the 2S ones, where you have the Klingons that have got on the Enterprise and there's this life form rolling
Day
around.
of the Dove.
There you go, and they turn all the weapons into swords. Everyone goes a bit crazy, and everyone's and remember the engineer was throwing swords. It's just like, oh, that's such a cool image, and
yeah. They die and then they come back, and nobody dies, and
to see them actually interact as it's not space battle. It's just in the sets. Just you got to really get a sense of Klingons. I really like that episode, and I think that's a lot of fun TOS moments.
Mm-hmm. And that also shows off that the Klingon females are part of the crew, and it shows their badassery as well. So. Gmon78, £2. Data to Scotty. It is green. Which goes back to which TOS episode was it?
The one where Andromedans.
Yeah, I just can't remember the title. Anyway, yeah, but that ties in
the
exactly.
Andromeda strain.
It is green.
That's
is it?
No. That's a movie.
That's not a episode.
That's one of those few moments where it's just like that was just perfect synergy of writing, acting, prop, costume, random drunk mood on the day. That was a good TOS moment.
Yeah. Dylan McCullen puts in $5.
Thank you.
Son of Duras telling Gowron his house would one day rule the Empire. Gowron replies, "Yes, but not today." With his smile and big eyes, yeah. I hated that little Duras kid. I mean, I love how they just leave him basically to the wolves.
Yes.
Lursa and Betel.
I like Lursa and Betel, though. I much appreciate their improvements in their makeup from their first appearance, which looks. They didn't put quite the money they should have into getting them proper makeup, and then Generations they look a lot better. Oh, there's so many. Do you think there are more best moments in TNG on average? I don't think we've mentioned 2 Voyager ones. I think on average TNG takes the cake there.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. We haven't said any Enterprise ones though.
No, Intermirror. I started Intermirror.
Wow.
But that's a TOS moment.
Fine.
Sorry, Enterprise moments. I think we both like the moment. I mean, it's weird this would be something you like, but when Archer actually has to, steal the warp coil. That's a moment, steal the warp coil from the ship that will be, lost in the expanse, not be able to get home, and they never go back and give it to them. That would have been a nice callback if they'd gone back and, spent the time. But that's a good moment, even though it's really harsh and not something you want to see.
That's where the alien captain was Dumar, the same actor.
Oh, he was,
played Dumar.
Yeah, and the ship was just Romulan to Darrow Dex swapped. Yeah.
It was Romulan to Darrow Dex with parts missing and just colored brown. But that's an awful ship.
I kind of like it. I kind of like it.
I'd like it too if it wasn't for the fact that you could tell exactly what it is, you know. But Fat Produce puts in $2. When Kess left Voyager, I'm going to agree with you there. Didn't like Kess too much, so. I think we all cheered. A surprising Enterprise moment. Archer orders a preemptive strike on the Zindi Moon outpost, killing, I think there's 3 or 4 people on that. Yeah, but had to do it before the moon, rotated so they get within communications range.
Honestly, I kind of liked the attacking Earth in the Expanse. It suddenly upscaled the threat, the world, the possibility for more. That was not what we were expecting and very strong moment.
I just had one and I lost it. Damn it.
Oh, sorry. What, from Enterprise?
I can't remember. I had a really good one. I was going to say it. I'll let you finish, and it's like, damn it.
Was it? Was it? The need 3 more. The Alan Moraine. It was Alan Moraine, wasn't it, Stuart? Your favorite moment of all Trek?
Hell no, it was not.
Count to 4.
I'm sure it'll come
count to 78. Gmon 78. There you go. I tangented.
Oh, I remember what it is. It was from What Are Little Girls Made Of with Harry Mudd and the androids, where they're trying to confuse the androids by, this is a bomb, be very careful with it, and then the dancing and stuff. That was awesome. There's no words, just awesome.
I bet they read that script and were like, Gene, really? Gene's like, it's going to be great. And they're like, okay, we'll try it. And they play it and it's like, oh, that's just a great moment. Yeah.
Cool. All right, Brian Harvard puts in $4.99. Mr. Data is in command of the Sutherland and tells Mr. Hobson to follow his orders or he will relieve him of duty. The whole scene is fantastic. Yes, the dickhead commander, I think he was a lieutenant commander or something. He wasn't commander, or was he a commander? I don't know. Anyway, he was a bit of an asshole when it came to Data, and I love how Data shuts him down. He's even saying, the Enterprise is hailing us. We need to answer them. Just do what I say. And it's awesome. Dylan McCullen puts in $5. Every moment with Q in it. Yes, most of them, especially when Picard wakes up beside Q in bed.
That is a good moment.
It's hilarious.
A strong, weird, fun moment.
I think we missed the super chat. Gmon78 puts in £2 and says, Worf, sir, I am not a merry man. Or, I protest, I am not a merry man. Yes.
I think I like that episode. I'm pretty sure I do. There's something in my brain that says, episode's not as good as it could be, but I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. We watched one last night where they were on... It's where Data's head gets blown off and it's the Iconians.
What? No.
Or whoever is stealing the souls or whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
That one, the part 2, where Geordi doesn't have his visor on. He's got sunglasses on. And they're supposed to be doing a play. And he's holding the book upside down. And like Troy turns it for him. And he's like... It's like, wow.
I don't even remember that moment, Stuart. Wow.
I didn't really notice it until yesterday, and I was laughing my ass off because I thought it was hilarious.
Although you mentioned plays, when Riker is the Jonathan Frakes is playing Riker, playing Crazy Man in a play.
Oh yeah, I hated that episode too.
Oh, I like the episode. It's smart. It's well. Come on, Frakes really kills in it. Like he is on fire performance wise.
Sure, I'll say that, but
why don't
I
you like
hated the
it?
episode.
Why is it not a favorite moment in Trek for you, Mr. Foley?
It's confusing as hell, and I still don't understand what happened even after watching it 15 times.
Do you want me to explain it to you?
No.
Okay.
I was by the end. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then every time I rewatch it, I'm like, okay, what's the explanation here again? All right, fine. Why is this all what?
Stuart
It's
is
too
not
smart
amused.
for me, I guess. It's too smart for me, I guess. John...
But Alan Moraine was right up your street, yeah?
No. That's too dumb for me. I'm somewhere in the middle. John Hathcock puts in $2. Archer becomes an insectoid Zindi mom. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
actually.
That's a really good episode, actually. That fine line of protecting them and then
Yeah.
going overboard, and everybody's kind of like,
Yeah.
sir, we have issues. Yeah.
It's very well shot as well. It was a good set. It was good to see a dedicated episode featuring all that stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
so
I think Enterprise has some real good acting. It was just not on an episode by episode basis. Like Hoshi when she's in the transporter buffer, you know, that second of the beam and she lives an entire day.
Yeah.
Like, that actress does a great job. But they're given so much on a weekly basis of just the expositional dialogue that what can you how can you use that to enhance your performance? And like T'Pol with her whole drug addiction, like really well acted, and then her scenes where we talk about technobabble isn't quite not that it's bad obviously, but it's not necessarily meat to chew on, is it?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Luke Aru puts in £10. Thank you very much. My favorite Trek moment is when Wesley has to explain nanotech to the crew who have no idea what it is because they are the audience stand-in. Yes. Yes, indeed. There's even a panel from a comic where Spock says to Kirk, "Sir, do you know about the theoretical whatever of wormholes or black holes?" And Kirk's like, "No, Spock, explain it to me." It's because apparently Kirk in the comics has no idea what a black hole is. Again, for the audience, right?
Yes. Which is sometimes done well, but a couple of times it can be like,
They would have been taught this in first year of the academy or public school in the future,
Or it's that great conceit where they're doing a shuttle ride, they're doing a mission, and they're already on the mission when they explain the mission. It's like, so you're telling me that you didn't talk the entire 2-hour trip here to then talk about it?
Yeah, that happens a lot even in other shows. They get in the car, hurry, get in, and then like that's during the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then at night they arrive at and they're just talking about it now. It's like, what have you been doing this whole time? Yeah, exposition is awesome.
It's expositional silence and then exposition. It's important.
Oh, 200 rubles.
Thank you.
Damn, I thought to mention tapestry scene. Shut up, Wesley. Yes.
Did he shut Wesley in Tapestry? Yes. The start. Yeah. I suppose.
Gmon78 puts in £2. Seeing the Enterprise C come through the anomaly. Yeah, that was awesome. Seeing the Enterprise C. I remember getting chills seeing the Enterprise C, going, "That's cool, but I don't like it." I was kind of disappointed, and I was like, "Oh, they really use that for the Enterprise C." It's cool to see it. And then I saw the uniforms without the turtlenecks or the belts. And I'm like, why are you doing this to me? I was very disappointed by that. But now I love the Ambassador class.
So that's a good question. Did all of the little things detract from the very well written, very well acted, very well art designed? Yes. Okay.
For me, it did, because the uniforms really bothered me. I didn't like the ship. So I was like, this is a good episode, but it's like, really?
It should be better. I want to say it could be better. Should.
Yeah. Dylan McCullen puts in $5. Picard, let's make sure history never forgets the name Enterprise. Excellent. Or Riker's line, I forget which episode it's in, but fate protects fools, small children, and ships named Enterprise. It's another good one. Crimson Guyver puts in £1.99. Captain Scott on the Enterprise D's holodeck, seeing the old girl on the holodeck was awesome. I love how the only scene that they had of the bridge with nobody on it was from This Side of Paradise, where right before Kirk comes back on the bridge. So that's the scene they used, and then they built they borrowed a little section that somebody had built for the other shots. So really, really cool. And again, holding true to how that time period should in fact look.
Well, if they really care, they need to go back in and rotoscope out every time we see anything TOS and in any future Blu-ray releases and replace it with Discovery-looking stuff. Because if you don't, which is right, guys? In Intimate Darkly, you need to re-render it. And to be fair, I could probably like rebuild those shots and verbatim replace, although it would look effing ridiculous at the new size. Can you imagine the same shots, but just flying right past the Andorian, filling the frame because obviously the frame is the same, or next to the Defiant, next to the I guess it was a Challenger at that point. Yeah, the Challenger, and it's just like absolutely ginormous, and it's like, oh, that's great. Although to be fair, they look more similar, but it'd be like this is weird.
Yeah, well,
I'd be
not going to get in that
at some point. That'd be a good experiment, I think. Though replace it in whole cloth. Same shots, but the original scale would be fun to see how that would be.
The one you have on screen right now, where the Enterprise comes out from Voyager after that is one of the most epic scenes of the Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, lens flare too. Before lens flares were a bad thing.
Did you notice the last 3 episodes of Discovery got a lot of lens flare?
I did notice.
Creeping back in.
Yep. Joseph Petrick puts in £5.
Thank you.
All the puns and jokes from Insurrection. My mom loves it, so I am contractually obliged to like it as well. And sorry for being late. That's okay, and we understand the whole
real life
contractually obligated to like something because your parents do, or because you were forced to watch it a bazillion times, so it's ingrained in your brain. Total Anthony puts in £4.99. O'Brien to a Cardassian. It's not you I hate, Cardassian. I hate what I became because of you. See, that's just deep. That's just deep.
That was a good episode as well.
Oh yeah.
It was really weird to introduce a Cardassian war. It's like, oh yeah, just so you know, the entire time we've been at a war. It's like, what?
Those damn Cardis
that you never heard of, but they've been here the whole time and really bad. And it's like, really?
Just on that border, it's fine.
Yes, because border wars are always the most deadly of wars. And another little moment I had that was hard to get because he throws them straight out of the screen, but the tiny line from Star Trek 3, the giant douche of a man to Sulu, and Sulu beats him up and flings him around and just
don't
hurts
call
his
me
day.
tiny. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a Captain Sulu in the making. That is.
Yeah. Don't get smart, tiny. Yeah. Actually, there's a lot of great scenes from that movie. Uhura and the young guy. You amaze me, Commander. A 20-year space veteran, you choose the worst duty station in town. I mean, look at this place. This is the hind end of space. That's a great scene.
Question. Do you know why she wasn't in the movie, Uhura? Why didn't she go with them?
I'm not sure. Is there a reason? I think there is.
And there must be. Because why would you write... Obviously, she's in it. But and her scene is great, and she's got a little bit at the beginning as well. But why would you write one of your leads completely out of the entire beats of the movie? I mean, obviously, it was stretched enough as it is. Beyond the point, Sue doesn't do anything, and Chekhov doesn't do anything. But
she didn't want to ruin her career by stealing the Enterprise with them.
So just let them escape and let them.
Yeah, but
still a pretty bad crime to let them.
It is. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That's a good question.
And she could have beamed with them. And it's not like they actually needed... Like, it would have made sense if they had 2 ships and she had taken McCoy to Vulcan and the others had gone to Genesis. Because then that's why, readying him for the procedure, well, they go get the body. And then you see, like, both journeys, you cut back to Vulcan and Sarek preparing Bones. Because you didn't need Bones on the mission. I think you could probably have done that as a thing. You would have lost that trifecta. You would have lost the Kirk and whatever. But it would have been nice to see more Sulu and more Chekhov. You know what I mean? Like, give them sort of a 2-part point there.
Yeah, I don't know if it might have interrupted the flow of the movie, though.
It would have, especially since you're cutting to Krug and then cutting to Vulcan and then cutting to...
Yeah.
But even just kind of like 3 times to them would have been enough. I don't know.
Well,
What?
yeah, she does say, "I'll meet you at the rendezvous." So
What? And 90 Lancaster says Uhura and co were going to Vulcan to prepare. It says so in the novelization. We know that. But what was the reason that they didn't... Like, that was a script choice. Why was she not with the crew? Like, was she just the odd one out they picked not to, which could have just been the case. They ippy-dippied the cast and said, it's literally not enough lines. We're gonna, swap them around a bit.
Well, before I get to the next super chats, I want to. Joseph Petrick brings up an interesting one. Let's talk about one of the JJ films for a second.
Oh, okay.
Beyond the beginning, where Kirk beams back on, and he ripped his shirt again. I ripped my shirt again, and I'm giving a new shirt.
Yeah.
His captain's log. We've been out here for 3 years now, and everything's feeling a bit episodic.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I like that movie, because it does feel more in line with TOS. Well,
it's allowed to have a truly Star Trek intro.
Yeah.
A bit of science fiction, bit of creature explanation, bit of character beat. It's brilliant. It's. I wish that had been more scenes.
It's just odd that the device that he gives to these little things and then puts away in storage is the same one that dude is after later in the movie.
I think it's the opposite. The story happens because it happened to be the one mission where that was the case. That's the only reason they got pulled in, is because it was the device. They've also been on a lot of missions over the time. It's like, isn't it a bit weird that the Enterprise happened to see the Botany Bay of all of space? Well, yeah, it's because they happened to be in that place at the time.
Just odd that they go to Yorktown and then from Yorktown get dispatched to this planet. But he's on the planet and he needs this thing.
Remember the lady came out of the anomaly and brought them to...
I remember.
So it was...
How did she know it was on board? I don't know. It just seems like a
signal
series of coincidences.
Well...
I don't know.
Not... Well... I don't know.
Oh, super chats. You want to hit some super chats? All right, cool. Gmon78 puts in £2. Voyager arriving home at the end of Endgame, and seeing all the other ships escorting it. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
And just a great. That episode has so many great moments.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah. Ian Warrender puts in £2. First time seeing the Voyager intro, and good night, guys. He's heading off. He's not nodding anymore. He's got to go to bed, so. He's in your neck of the woods, so it's late.
Yeah, that Voyager. I mean, that's the best intro. Visually,
yeah, I was just watching Voyager before we started this live, and I was thinking the same thing. It's very orchestral. More so than the other ones.
Orchestral.
It's more. It's very beautiful. Very beautiful shots too.
I'm just loading up 3 Beyond shots to go with what you were saying a minute ago, because Beyond, I think, deserves quite a lot of credit. You got this shot. I mean, this is just this first shot that you liked with, Kirk's ripped shirt, Bones is being Bones. He throws a communicator to Spock.
Yeah.
And the banter is great. And then for all the ladies out there, best moment of this movie, shirtless James T. Kirk with abs. Are those real abs or prosthetic abs, Stuart? Because, Karn had the question. I felt that should be a question too. And yes, I zoomed, apparently. Just call it on the live. There you go. And the third one was, I like this moment in the corridor when there's interpersonal, he's saying the crew are getting to know each other, and it's like, wow, who's dating who's doing what.
Yeah.
And they literally hired 10 extras just in uniforms, and there's this nice sense of, it's a family, it's a crew. Okay, it's a bloody ginormous corridor that would make the normal Enterprise look, ashamed of how big it is, but it's nice. It's got so many nice details,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hold on, just.
Well, let's talk.
Do something here.
What are favourite moments in Into Darkness? Because we very much did go into all the negative stuff yesterday, because that's kind of one of the banes of our, whatever. But what are the kind of great moments in Darkness?
Into Darkness, one of the best moments for me is when Pike or Kirk and Spock go into Pike's office and kind of get a dressing down, and Kirk finds out that Spock had reported that, Kirk basically broke the Prime Directive. That whole conversation was... I thought that was really well done and fitted the characters. Also, I know it's cheap and cheesy, but the airlock to airlock scene is kind of fun, where Kirk loses his heads-up display and Khan helps him fly into a porthole that's or an airlock that's a meter across. Why would you have that with this huge room? Anyway,
and that's the airlock.
Yeah,
it's not a airlock. It's the. So what does that?
And also, it doesn't make sense that when the guy gets sucked out and they fly in, that they didn't smash into him and become a meat shower.
Stuart, you can't use logic, please. They're going one step too far when it comes to logic, please.
I know.
Please.
Sorry.
I'm trying to get a moment from In Darkness where I think you'll agree it's one of the best moments of this movie, and we can talk about it because it deserves a highlighting at the amount of extra canon it adds to the universe. Read some super chats while I find it.
Okay, next super chat is Will Serby, puts in £5.
Thank you.
You haven't seen Hamlet until you've seen it in the original Klingon. Yeah. Talk back, or top 8. Damn it! I did it yesterday.
Isn't that makes me smile on the inside, because it really is, in my interpretation, it's the Klingon saying, "Yeah, we know you invented it, but
you made it better."
Yeah, exactly. Your culture might have brought it to life, but it's only truly realized if Shakespeare was alive today, he would say that the great Klingon poets say it far better, and he'd be like, "The hell's wrong with your face?" And then you would talk properly for a bit.
Jeff Jacobs puts in $5 and says, "My favorite Voyager moment was when 7 of 9 whispers the results of the World Series to the dead astronaut from Earth in Friendship 1." Oh, it's so touching.
Friendship 1's a surprisingly good episode, I think.
Yes.
Sad as well.
Yeah. 200 rubles super chat.
Ooh.
By Tapestry, I meant Q in bed. Shut Up Wesley is the next guess. There are multiple Shut Up Wesley moments, though, which is good.
Yes, isn't there one Tapestry at the start when he offers him a sandwich and he's like, "Stop it, Wesley. I don't want a sandwich, Wesley." Yes, I have my Karn moment where he beams out of a shuttle and onto Kronos. One of your favourite moments of Into Darkness, am I right? Am I right? He beams from Earth to Kronos, am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Am I right?
You're not right, but that's okay.
I know, but wasn't that your favourite moment at the cinema when you were like, "Oh yeah, this is a thing? This is a thing?"
It's one of the many I tuned out moments.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, in the novel, it says he beamed to a ship and then went, all these multiple steps. But it's clearly not what the movie's saying. And if you need a book to make the movie make sense, the movie's flawed. Book should be to add. Star Trek 6 is a great movie. If you read the book, you get more of the movie. It doesn't, So as a moment, it was like, really, you shortcutted across the quadrant, huh?
Yeah.
just want to throw that as a little curveball there, Stuart. Because we have to get to Kronos somehow. Let's just beam.
Anyway, John Harrison puts in £2. Maybe the
sorry,
item
man. We're bitching about you. Sorry.
Maybe the item from Beyond had a broadcast signal.
Yeah, it does.
I'm totally by that. Steve Summers puts in $5. Hey, I watched Into Darkness last night. Admiral Marcus was talking about Section 31. Was Marcus the head of Section 31 during this time period? I don't know if he was the head of Section 31, but I mean, possibly.
My gut says no, because there isn't necessarily a head of Section 31. Is that he is just one of the many agents, just like the Admiral in DS9 is a extension, an agent. You know, even if he's, you know, not, he's still a Starfleet officer as well. He's just one of the, you know, top tier people that, you know, he pitched a mission, he got the ship built. Yeah, so I didn't get the sense he was the top of that chain. Maybe in terms of the Karn stuff, but, you know.
Yeah.
The whole point of Section 31 is that you can't know it all, you don't know it all, you shouldn't know it all, you probably don't even know next to you. You know, if one Section 31 guy walks into a room and you're told there's another agent in the room and you don't know who he is because he's in a different sect, that's part of the mystique, is that you might have 3 agents in the room that don't know who each other are. They just don't. Because they're all doing different things. They're all on slightly different missions. Maybe the section commander of those people have slightly different barriers they can cross when it comes to morality, and that's part of the intrigue for me, anyway.
Yeah.
At least it was.
Pixels at Dawn puts in £5.
Thank you, sir.
One of my favorite Voyager moments is Latent Image, where Janeway sets up camp in the holodeck to help the Doctor work through his issues. That's the one that was just on tonight, on just the episode right on before we came on this live.
I don't actually remember what he's talking about, except it's not the one where he has a family, is he? Is it?
No, it's the one where he saves Harry Kim over the other girl, and they have to erase his memory because he starts going crazy, essentially.
Yeah, that's a smart one. Let me find a screen cap of that, because I appreciate being reminded of that.
Gmon78 put in £2. Did Kirk have a superfluous third nipple? No. Why?
It's a very specific question, Stuart.
It is. I don't know. I mean, we saw his chest enough to know no, he doesn't.
Well, I'll tell you what. As a favour to all of our female fans, I'm going to cut back to Beyond Kirk.
Please don't.
There he is. He has 2 manly nipples right there. Look at them, everyone. And then I'm going to cut something, the dude's favourite moment from the Doctor episode, because this is totally the same. Oh no! This is your favourite memory, right? That's the memory you're thinking of. Wait for Stuart to catch up so he can respond.
Oh yeah, it's I got to deal with something on the mod side, so just keep talking.
Okay, I'll read the next super chat. Hi, Gmon78. There's already there. Ross, Matt, Rob Moss, £4.99, the best currency. When you see the Defiant fire its phasers cannons for the first time, I was like, holy crap, the ship is awesome. Yeah, the Defiant comes in, does its darndest, and you're like, well, how powerful is it really? And it absolutely wrecks shop, so I would certainly, yeah. And also seeing the VFX, it's obviously doing cool things for the first time, and nice.
Yeah.
Just seeing the Defiant in general, I mean, we always wanted new ships. And Defiant coming in is like, ooh. Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with the Defiant. I said it was cool when it first decloaks, because they're picking up the distortion or whatever. Could be a cloaked vessel, and all of a sudden it decloaks, and it's like, it's Cisco. It's like, hey, how's it going? That was a cool scene, but I've never been a fan of the Defiant per se. But seeing some of its battle maneuvers during the war were kind of cool. Luke Aru puts in £5. Riker becoming a Klingon first officer, eating gawk and being offered a liquid meal from a female officer. Yeah, it's creepy, but that's okay.
And that's a good episode. It's good to see other cultures and let them be fleshed out.
Yeah.
Although the Riker acts odd in the episode. He's trying to, but always got like a. It's weird that he can so easily act like not himself. Does that make sense? Because he has to not be the Riker, that smiles and is happy. He has to be like a bigger, taller. I am talking. He feels tonally different, and it's weird that this man could just flip that switch. He kind of has to. But is that whereas like Karn, he walks onto Enterprise and he's like, "You will all now be Klingon to my Klingon," and everyone's like, "Dude, calm down." He's like, "No, I'll have no bed. I'll sleep on the floor," and everyone's like, "Dude, calm down." He's like, "No, gach for all."
Yeah. Yeah. And Joseph Petrick puts in €2. No Apple in the future. Picard uses Android. Yes, he does. He does have an Android and no Apple. The only Apple in the future is Kirk from 2009, looking even more like an asshole, eating an apple during the Kobayashi Maru. But yeah. So I think we've learned that there are lots of very memorable things.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's with hundreds of episodes.
Oh, I know. We've never hit all my favorite ones because usually it's leading up to the scene. It's all, oh yeah, the part coming up's awesome. I make my kids sit down and watch certain parts of episodes. They don't even know what's going on. It's like, this is awesome. And they watch it and they're like, okay, can I go now? It's like, fine, get out of here. But, yeah.
Just certain. I mean, I think a lot of it is based on where you were the first time you watched it and the memory it's linked in to your head with. You know, certain things. So it's like every time I see the Battlestar Pegasus get what comes to it, I get emotional because it's a beautiful, beautiful scene, and just I love that ship so much. And like seeing Timeless, you really feel for these actors, these characters. They did such a good job, and obviously Spock dying, and it it's nice when these movies can lock a moment in time for you. You know, even and I've got a picture of it in this time frame. You know, Voyager. We watched me and my mum sort of because we were having dinner at one point. We went back and actually watched Star Trek Motion Picture with the commentary, and it was really interesting to rewatch after so many years on a full 4K TV being upscaled, and enjoy these Voyager moments of like, this is really very impressive. Like, still, this is really impressive visuals and the imagination, the fact they could realize this. It still is a trip, figuratively, literally, and on drugs.
On drugs. Yeah, it is pretty impressive considering knowing how they filmed it compared to how they would do it now.
Yeah, it would be every day. It would just be 10 compositors go make that over the course of 3 months versus just the massive amount of everything otherwise. Is a pug your favourite moment in all Trek? You brought a special guest.
No, there's no pugs in Trek. There should be.
What did you think of Archer's dog then?
I thought it was a bad idea to have a dog on board because so many things can go wrong with that. There was a proposed episode like 5 or 6 for season 5 or 6 of Enterprise, episode where Porthos actually became super intelligent, which would have been cool to see, but I don't know how it would have played out. And to take your dog on away missions to just some random planet, I think is a stupid idea because I know how dumb my dog is. She would end up getting into something. You have my dog. Would I take you on a starship with me, or would I just leave you at home? She doesn't know. We have another super chat. We have 500 rubles. No, Tapestry is season 6, episode 15. There is no Wesley in season 6. I also love the start. No, I am not dead. I refuse to believe that the afterlife is run by you.
Oh, right.
The universe is not so badly designed. The entire episode is awesome. It is, and it really makes you rethink your life. It actually depresses the shit out of me because it's like, man, if I had made different choices when I was younger, I could be like so much richer or whatever.
An admiral rather than just a captain.
Admiral.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny. The reason I thought the Wesley thing is because Wesley is in the prequel Tapestry where he has his heart redone. That's why I was thinking, because he's in the shuttle.
In the shuttle, yeah. I see why you got confused. Yeah.
But no, obviously it starts with the white room of he's already dead, Jim.
Yeah. Pixels at dawn, £2.
Thank you.
The first time that a Darrow Dex decloaks. Ooh. And yeah, we're not sure the size of it either, because the way they position the camera, it's like, is it huge compared to the Enterprise? Is it relatively the same size? It was kind of innocuous for a while as to how big it was. But yeah, seeing that thing decloak was really impressive for sure.
I mean, honestly, a lot of the ship stuff in TNG is glorious in its own way. And again, considering how many passes, how much effort went into each one, it took some time, and it makes you realise some of the earliest VFX in Voyager and DS9 are sometimes a bit like, it's not as... But they got there. You know, it's like, would you rather have had... If money was an object, would you rather have had the TNG style, way more real looking, more beautiful shots, or the DS9 style battles with all the camera movements and stuff and looking less real? Like if there was not a difference in time, effort, and money, which would you have picked, do you think, for say DS9 or Voyager?
The more realistic ones.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, the battle scenes were really cool and dynamic, but at the same time, you see ships in the background just doing nothing. It's like you need more going on, and I didn't have the capability to do that. I did love seeing the strafing runs of the Bird of Preys and like formations of 3 getting picked off, or the Jem'Hadar like swooping in and just kamikazing themselves in other ships. So some of it was fantastically done. Don't get me wrong, but I just think it just let it be better. Just I would love to see that remastered so badly.
Well, there is obviously the IMRL remastered clips on YouTube, and they are just glorious. I mean, it's same cinematography which holds up perfectly today, and yet it's real nice stuff. But it took months for a reason, for single shots.
Yeah,
And
they reused them sometimes, but that's okay. Super Coops puts in £5. Star Trek 6, Kirk to Chekhov. Did you detect any radiation surges? Only the size of my head. I know what you mean.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it is good. Note to ship's galley. Romulan ale no longer to be served at diplomatic functions.
Oh, they won't listen to that.
It's like, you realize it's illegal, right? So they're probably only serving it because you gave them permission to. So...
And because you know the chef, and you know the galley, you know the vendor, and you know the smugglers, and you know
is
the
it the
bar
same
staff.
chef from Enterprise?
No,
maybe it
it's
is.
all Riker. Every chef in
that was another proposed thing for one of the later seasons of Enterprise. Had they got there, bringing Kirk on board to be chef, Shatner playing chef, like I don't know. It was thrown around. There was a few ideas for bringing Kirk on board, so.
Yay. I mean, if they could have like digitally made him like 60s Kirk somehow.
Why though? It would be like his grandfather or his...
Well, no, because then it wouldn't have been old man looking Shatner, is all I mean.
No.
Then it would have been gimmicky, or like you make him younger, like him from his very first movie. I don't know, I'm just spitballing as if you could like to make it like a funny, like, oh wow, Shatner's back as digitally 130 pounds lighter. Like, I don't know.
Rogue One creepy, like Leia creepy.
Yeah, Tarkin's great though.
Tarkin's good. There's a few scenes where it looks a little odd, but Leia looks good for like a half second, and then it's like, it's like no.
I have no problem with that personally. I think it was great they tried, great they did it. It adds to the movie a lot.
I'm not saying it didn't. I'm just saying it doesn't look fantastic.
Oh god,
I do enjoy it too. I thought it was a great, nice little surprise when I watched it.
Going back and watching Tron Legacy and seeing the first big full de-age, because now it's a lot more common. It's kind of amazing. And seeing him play 2 parts, and it's like, well, your eyes are dead. I mean, you are a computer, thank God, but your eyes are dead, mate.
You know what's worse than that is was it Days of Future Past with the young...
No, it was X-Men 3.
Yeah, de-aged Patrick Stewart. That was just awful.
Well, and Wolverine as well, same thing, but different de-age. That was actually young, because there's a difference between de-age and young. I don't know if I have I might be able to find a picture of that. Wow, favorite moment in X-Men is this slightly on a tangent. I don't know if I actually have that though. I don't know if I have the X-Men movies available.
Yeah, my favorite moment from X-Men is the post-credit scene. Go fuck yourselves.
Oh. No, that's not
first F.
That's not post credit. That's middle of the movie for Days of Future Past.
Was it?
Yeah.
Anyway, the Wolverine scene, yeah,
that is
fantastic.
Yeah,
and it's the first F-bomb dropped in an X-Men movie, so.
But it's so.
And it was all improvised too.
Was it really?
Yeah. I was just watching a thing last night about improvised scenes in movies that were kept in, it really threw the other two actors off. The one guy almost broke into like laughter as he was walking out the door because they walked out the door to reset the scene, and they never went with what they had originally had because they love that scene so much. But while you're looking,
Well, I haven't got it, but that's. I mean, just Google it. But that's
yeah, while you do that, I'll get some super chats.
great scene.
Rob Moss puts in £4.99. Troy crashing into the D into a planet when Troy crashing the E into the scimitar. For love of God, stop giving her the helm. Yes. That's all I'm going to say on that. Yes, I agree. Just don't let her drive.
They could just have like gone up.
You think, right? Yeah.
I mean, what? Because the drive section was still totally functional up until it got slammed by the wave.
Uh-huh.
I feel like it's something they could like emergency powered aft shields. Because did it actually warp core detonate or just explode? Because there is a subtle distinction of the amount of energy released.
I think it was warp core detonation because they were having a cascade failure and it was going to do that anyway. That's why they needed to separate the saucer because the emergency interlock things were failing, so they couldn't eject the core.
Because I can buy it if there's a lot of power going into a warp explosion.
Yeah, that's what I think happened. 150 rubles. NX01 leaving the dock for the first time. The scene is beautiful.
Yeah, I'll give you that. And it's an impressive CGI for the time as well.
Yeah. Not a huge fan of the scene personally. It's all right, but...
Oh, no?
Eh.
So I've got the... because we're totally talking about these moments, I've got the two different, several years apart, de-aged. So the first one is the X-Men 3, which was some time ago. The 20 years ago, which is around the same time as one of the X-Men Days of Future Past style film shots, which is clearly not James McAvoy.
In the still, it doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
But when you add any kind of movement, the human eye automatically goes, wait a minute, that ain't right.
Yeah. It's not too bad as a still, to be honest. It just kind of looks like a CGI him.
Yeah.
But we know that in TNG he had a thinner face, so they didn't actually make him look like young him. They just de-aged his old face with a CGI mask, rather than made him look like young him. And then we cut to a few years later, the X-Men Origins Wolverine, which I believe was a cheaper version of the same technique because it was only in like 2 shots, if that. Not great. That looks even worse to me.
It does. It looks way worse, especially again once you apply movement to it. Because it took me right out of the movie. It's like, oh, really? Just don't even do that.
Because his head's too tall.
Is that Shinzon? Says Bill Barkley. That's what they should do. Is go superimpose a young Patrick Stewart's face over Tom Hardy. I don't know if the contracts would allow that, but I personally would prefer to see that. Dylan McCullen puts in $5. TOS episode, Kirk fights the Romulan captain. First time seeing cloaking and the Romulans. Balance of terror. Yeah. That was actually pretty great. Invisibility screen. What's that? I mean, cloak. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Invisibility screen is Discovery, Stuart. Come on.
I know. I'm sorry.
They don't have cloaking devices, Stuart. Remember that.
I know they don't.
Even though they interchange it in dialogue and they say both, therefore devaluing their distinction that they put in place.
Yes. Anyway. Tom Hardy does faceless work all the time. I'm sure he'll allow it. Probably. You better.
I want to throw in a DS9 favorite moment for me. I really enjoy the TR-116 rifle. The entire sequence with Ezri, who I like anyway, but putting the rifle together in this really cool piece of advanced tech that's both retro and advanced in a cool way. And it's very totally relatable. You understand how and why and what it does. And using a pre-built cannon, using your old hosts, so it, again, everything existent. And, become the mind of a murderer. It ends up being a Vulcan and just a good-looking rifle with a good-looking set of scenes and some fun moments.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a darker episode, but I was thinking like fun scenes, like the episode "Take Me Out to the Holosuite." Fantastic episode. Them playing baseball against the. Or the which is the one where they do the heist in the casino. Where they're all walking through the promenade with their evening wear on. That's another great one. The time Burnham pointed her gun at herself. That was a thing. The a little too much LDS is another great one. LDS. Yes. Yeah, Star Trek 4 is just full of great things like that. Rumpelstiltskin was in it. Yeah, the Rumpelstiltskin one was an odd one for sure.
Oh, remind me.
O'Brien's daughter, they were just reading her Rumpelstiltskin, and he shows up in their room, and he's an alien that's trying to...
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of weird but also wonderful, the self-stealing stem bolt storyline.
And what is a self-stealing stem bolt? We should do a Trekyards episode just on that. Because they serve like no real purpose, except they self-seal.
Well, they're to catch bugs. I mean, we see him. Yeah, it's fine. No, I think every moment in that 7 payoff is a good moment. And also when Nog challenges Martok, that's a good moment. You know, it's not stature, it's not race, it's, you know, Klingons aren't racist. They just respond to actions and honor and strength in any form. You know, this is part of what the Arbiter in Enterprise was saying. You can also get honor by showing strength through your lore knowledge or strength through engineering if you build the next weapon. You know, it shouldn't be as one-dimensional as Discovery shows. That was a shame.
Yeah. Kira is not anything special. I agree with Tiberian. I'm not a huge fan of Kira.
Are there any good Kira? See, I've said before, I like the Kira when she's dressed up like Cardassian episode. That's filled with good moments, good character beats.
That's a great episode, yeah. But the character, I just can't stand her personally, and I don't think she's attractive. So
it's funny, they're trying to make the attendant super what she is. I just find it's trying too hard.
Yeah,
you know?
I totally agree. Yeah.
Which is weird, but yeah. Oh, I do like Intendant Worf. It's weird. It's weird cut. Sorry.
Yeah, with Garrick on a chain. Yeah. He stabs him.
Yeah. Oh. I think that's kind of like because we've got him casting. I don't know if it quite worked for me. They didn't quite play it right. Would have been great to have like a really smart Worf rather than barbaric Worf. You know.
Yeah.
Although that has the Negvar, which is just a 4 times upscaled Negvar, and it's like, he built the same ship but 4 times bigger.
That's what the Klingons do, man. Look at the bird.
To be fair, yes, this is what they do.
Except for Discovery Klingons, they just go off the rails.
But stay bigger.
Oh yeah.
Well, they have those awful raiders.
Oh man.
Yeah. Locutus, some good Locutus moments. I mean, the reveal, that walking out of the smoke, the very end of the episode. That's a really strong moment.
Yeah.
And do you remember the story how they didn't know how part 2 was going to go because they didn't know if Stuart was going to come back. So it's genuinely a dun dun dun.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens. That's what happened with The Matrix. They kind of wrote themselves into a corner with the movie, and then they needed to make some bank for the sequels, and they just didn't know how to. The second 2 didn't really work as well as the first one. But yeah, they did a fantastic job for Best of both worlds. Another super chat, 150 rubles.
Thank you.
Prisoners exchange in Magnificent Frankie.
Yes.
I thought the Breen were annoying. Oh, yeah, that is hilarious.
Yeah, that whole episode is great.
Yeah, a lot of the Ferengi stuff is good. Like when he goes back home and he's playing with his, or he gets his Marauder Mike toys or whatever. Just little Ferengi action figures with little whips that they had in the last outpost.
Oh, God. Yeah, that the obviously over the course of what 14 years, is that the example of the best course correction for an alien race for going from we had a distinct idea and then we didn't know where to go with them and then we changed it to this cork to find the new style, and that's how they were, and by the end they're amazing. Is that like the best example of a course correction gone right?
Probably that and the Trill, because we did see a Trill in TNG one episode, and then they kind of really fleshed them out. So,
but that was more, it's a one-off and then a full-on.
Yeah,
I remember saying the Ferengi makeup was real expensive, so they knew they were investing. Yeah, good job.
Yeah, I think the Ferengi really did come around really well as far as their development.
It would be great if you could have. I mean, just show Michael Westmore, because he's a real good guy, not the writers. If you could, like 2 hours after he's finished applying, and actually Armin Sherman's makeup, same guy who played, the first Ferengi. After that, back in his trailer, you bring him the episode of DS9 when they are in Roswell, and you say, Michael, I'm from the future. You just made this new villainous enemy. You've watched them on stage, not doing very well. Here's how they're going to be in 10 years. He watches like, oh, this is good. What? This is the same race? That'd be great to see his reaction. But I thought of another fun Voyager one. Weird episodes, I know, with Seska taking over the Voyager. It's not it's got some really good elements, but I love when the Doctor gets flung hologrammatically out. Oops.
Oh, into space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of the ships.
In the middle of a battle.
That's great. That's a great stupid moment. It's just funny.
Yeah.
I like that moment.
Man. The best Ferengi episode was Empok Nor, where they had to rescue Moogie, and do a prisoner exchange. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Well, it's like almost exclusively Ferengi, so I think that's
Moogie.
Another good moment, I think, is when, because sometimes it's just like the reveal is good enough, is the moment in whichever one, which in itself is a brilliant episode, where they're in a holodeck simulation where the Maquis, took over the ship.
Yes.
And the reveal that Seska's actually behind it. It's like, oh, you did that is out of left field. But it's like, oh yeah, shit. That's a great moment.
That was a great one. So was Photons Be Free with the Doctor's book. Which, like, big backpack for his mobile emitter.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
People will think you're oppressed. No, I'm just showing that this is something I have to carry around every day. Like, yeah, that was a fun episode. I like those kind of episodes that kind of sidetrack from what we're used to, right? So,
question on the spectrum overall, do you think Data or the Doctor became a stronger character in his own show?
Honestly, I'd say the Doctor.
I was hoping you were going to, because I was trying to think. Yeah. He got a lot more interesting stuff to do.
He's more humanized. Than Data. So I think that's why I say that, because, I mean, they both had their trial where they could be
free.
Sentient beings, be free, yeah.
Photons and not binaural. What's his positronic be free? There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the Doctor for sure. I just wish he would have picked a name at some point.
We did. It was like
Schroeder or something.
No. Yeah, what was it? I thought it was like Steve or something. But I mentioned that, and I like that he mentioned he still is more humanized. I think it's interesting because even though he is, because the Data stays very much in line with the android personality, that doesn't actually divert very far, considering where it could have been. The Doctor still stays unique. He doesn't act like a human. There's a distinction there. He knows more. He has a different outlook on life, on non-life, on like there's more. It's a unique portrayal of a character as opposed to someone trying to be human or being a hologram. So I think, but that's just that amazing actor, Ricardo. I mean, there's a reason he's always in something. He's always being cast in something because he's just tremendous. His name was Joe.
Yeah.
That was the
Joe.
That was the payoff.
Joe. Yay. Brian Gustafson puts in $13.99 Canadian.
Dude, thank you.
Little Green Men. The whole episode for me is fantastic.
Yep.
When Quark was hitting his head, the translator working, and the entire group of Army personnel were mimicking Quark, made laugh a bit, showing how clueless humans can be. Yeah, and I love how the Ferengi are like, look, they're imitating us. You know, they're easily manipulatable. Blah blah blah. Language. And I love how they're talking about smoking and how they, voluntarily smoke. And yeah, that's a fantastic episode. And the 4-star general that's in it, or I think 4 or 5-star general, he's the same actor from Way to Eden. He played one of the hippies.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Like what a range from extreme hippie end to like hardcore general in the U.S. military.
Yep.
Like two opposing. Oh man, but that's a fun episode. And to see Odo morph from the dog, it's like
that was a good reveal.
You were there the whole time, like seriously. Yeah.
Although it's funny that you've just made that connection. It means that is the general proud of his great grandson, the alien hybrid hippie.
I never really thought about that, but
they use that conceit a few times. Although, how cool is that you can be in the original series and then being later Trek?
Look at Pulaski.
Pulaski.
Yeah, she was in the original series twice. Once as a member of the crew, once as the blind lady. Yeah. With the Medusan.
She was one of the crew. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was that episode we were talking about earlier with the android with the aliens inhabiting their bodies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh. Cool.
So anyway, yeah, I love how they reuse actors in Trek. It's always fun to pick them out and find them and where they are, especially Jeffrey Combs.
And then the Rock just shows up and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Wow, I did.
Yeah. Daniel Dunlap puts in $5. Thank you very much. Data's lack of emotion is a great MacGuffin.
Yeah.
The books demonstrate the difference perfectly.
Books?
I'm not sure what he's referring to exactly, but those are those things that are made of paper that you read, I think.
I mean, if you say so. This is we're so in the future now that I don't know. Yeah. I mean, Data just as a character, I mean, he was a...
The emotion chip thing kind of bugs me, though, because it's in, then it's off, then it's out, then it's not really working. It's like, make up your mind, guys.
I get the need for canon as you go, but it was in your last movie, you know? The concept of what you have and haven't got is so recent, because they went from All Good Things to Generations in 3 weeks, I believe, 3 or 4 weeks, and then the next movie was only like, well, that had the chip in, and so it only might have been like 2 years from the last time I mentioned the chip, or 1 year. It's like, this is in your last memory of short-term memory, I don't know.
Well, no, they put it in Generations, correct?
Yes.
And then in First Contact, he says, Data, just deactivate your emotion chip. I envy you sometimes, Mr. Data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I'm fine with.
Yeah. It's just, it seems like an inconsistent MacGuffin thing, because it doesn't... The rules are always different with it, If you can turn it off, you can't turn it off. It wants to be deactivated.
This is actually a question that we could just ask Doug. Or, Doug would know, Rick would know. If you were, a writer coming in, say, in season 7, and you were given the director, and you were given a script with the emotion chip, and you've, okay, he has an emotion chip, there we go. but you want to know the context. Were they able to give people copies of old episodes to watch as research? If you were actually on the TNG staff, like, could you ask for episode 7 of, and what would you get? How crap quality or good quality? Was that a thing?
I don't think that was probably a thing. I don't think all the things that they needed to know were in the Bible. But yeah, with different episodes, not everything from every episode is added to the Bible. You know, it's not updated. So there's the writer's Bible that they come up with to start the series, basically. But it seems like from one episode to the other, they don't necessarily build off what came before.
Because they filmed and edited them. Like, they exist in the building they're filming them in. And they had VHSs, well, not necessarily out or whatever, but it would seem odd that surely the Ocean Ship episode comes up, you watch it for the gained context.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, especially lore. The idea of the lore. Did Brent Spiner, like, would he want to go back and rewatch his first lore? Acting to recapture, because can you recapture the same character 6 years on? It can't just be in the script, it can't just be in your memory. I mean, we've done things 4 years apart now in Trekyards, and you asked me stuff from year 1. I'm not going to be able to tell you.
Yeah, I know. I would say that if for those kind of things, going back to those roles, I personally would want to go watch what I had done before and try to emulate that. Or even if like Anson Mount, did he watch The Cage?
He didn't.
He watched. I know he didn't, but like that's something I would do as if I was filling a role of a character. I would go watch everything that they were in. And like Zachary Quinto went and met Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah.
Asked him all those questions about Spock, so he kind of got straight from the source kind of thing. Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know if they would have done that though.
I do think it's so important. Every actor is being brought on to be them. But the fact is, you're playing a character defined by someone else. If your character hasn't got any trace of that other person, then you're just playing somebody else. You know, or you're playing because the character on page and the character as presented become different based on the portrayal. I was watching a continuum behind the scenes, and they were saying how a dude for the first time directed an episode that he didn't write, and so and the writer came on stage and was like, "Oh," or we watched the daily story in the edit room, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't," because he was editing it but didn't write it, or didn't direct it, did write, did edit. It's like, wow, this line, which it didn't have any expertise in getting done. That's not how I was thinking it was going to be said when I wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these yeah.
Well, Ryan Gustafson puts in $6.99 Canadian. I really enjoyed In Beyond when the Enterprise had her throat slit. I agree. Slit her throat. And Scotty goes to engage the warp engines. I cannot, sir. They're gone. I think you see them like, oh, it's beautiful. It was,
Okay, another hard question.
Such a great scene.
Another hard question for you. The Saucer Crash of Generations versus the Saucer Crash of Beyond.
Mm-hmm. Which is better?
Uh-huh.
The Beyond one.
Ah.
Seemed more visceral, more real, and it was beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
The one from Generations, you could see it was a little bit fake and crappy in spot, and it was sad to see the big B go down. It's not so bad. Never mind.
I would kind of agree that the 25 years of VFX improvement, but the Beyond one was well shot. It was well choreographed.
It was awesome,
and also wasn't trying to be Subject 3, 4, whichever one,
3,
and Generations. It was trying to be just what's on the page. And I like this. I like Kirk's escape pod coming out, and you see it, and he leaves his wreck behind. I didn't think they were going to go back to it. I was quite impressed actually by them going back to it and picking up tech and that movie was
you're walking through the halls and they're walking on the side of the hall and stuff.
It was a well-written movie. It really was. If that had been the first one, I say it all the time. If that had been the first one, we would have all been at least content. Maybe not happy, but we would have embraced them as reasonably well told stories.
The other thing that made it seem great was the fact that they couldn't engage the impulse engines because they were still trying to draw power from the warp nacelles, so they had to do a saucer separation so they could get so you actually see a on the big screen saucer separation of the original Enterprise, kind of.
Yeah.
That was really cool to see. Because,
I actually forgot that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they treat it with, it's a serious thing to do. It isn't, it has the weight that you'd hope it would have.
Yeah, kind of a stupid thing to say, like you're trying to draw power from the warp engines, but anyway, other than that, it was fine. Oh, Ryan got some put another $6.99.
Thank you.
Speaking of crashes, how many people would have been killed when the Vengeance went down? Oh, considering that it plows through the cityscape, a lot. And how many people were on the ship? Probably not that many. I think it had a very skeleton crew, but
yeah, that's a movie. It's a movie with spectacle and not thought.
Yeah.
And when the spectacle doesn't even make sense, although I will admit I do love the visual of it going past the clouds, past the Enterprise. It's a really nice visual.
It's just missing the Enterprise.
Yeah.
If it just clipped it.
Because you completely forget it's a thing. You forget, and it's just like, oh. Well, right, and I just brought up the clip, and it's he yells Karn, and it goes by. It's that movie needed one more year in development and a complete rewrite. The core ideas are fine, they really are. Just rewrite all the script
and not have Karn in it.
No, I think you could use it, but make it cleverer. There are ways. There are things. They had seatbelts though.
They did indeed.
So I'm just bringing up the sequence we actually see. It does smash. To be fair, it does smash into the water first. Oh, yes. That's some destruction. That's a dead building. Oh dear me. Oh no.
Your reaction's awesome.
And I mean, I've done VFX of fan films where I don't like being told do a space battle and destroy these 8 or 9 things. Like that's not. I don't enjoy doing that. I kind of feel guilty for kind of killing people. It's weird. A space station has 400 people. I just made them all go bluey. And and so these artists, they had to spend hours, days, months generating the sequence where they're bloating up people. It's weird. It's a weird thing to have to do. I found the sequence and it's actually pretty visceral. So this is the first one. I apologise, Stuart, for the delay. Crash into a building first, and then more buildings, and we see people. They're very careful to cut away from people next to the debris sites. And then the epic shot, and it just shows you how absurd that saucer is. Almost if they were smart, they would have ignored the canonical scale of the ship and just said, yeah, no, the saucer's smaller than that. Because that's absolutely huge. I mean, it feels huge. It is a city-destroying mess. And, it decimates multiple buildings. I mean, at least 1,000, 2,000 people.
Was it San Francisco again this time?
Yeah.
Yeah, so last time we had a big drill thing fall into the harbor right by the Golden Gate Bridge. Now we got this happen. I wouldn't want to live in San Francisco, just saying.
But Academy, though. Imagine how cool that campus would be, though. 1 billion alien races and all things. But can I show you another little Enterprise? I was trying to find some Enterprise moments.
Sure.
Can you tell me this Enterprise moment?
Probably.
And why it's probably a good Enterprise moment.
Oh, I thought you meant the ship, not the show. Nah, I can't. Is this from Shuttlepod 1?
Maybe. And so what's the context of the scene?
Well, they've survived and realized that the Enterprise has survived.
Yes.
Oh, is this where she's talking about her bum?
Well, it's the payoff to that, yes. Where he's all like, I love you. But he's still not quite right.
Yeah.
He doesn't get much, this actor. But he always gives everything his all. I'll always give it to that man. He always gave his tactical lines everything. Reed's wet dream. Yeah. Yes. I thought it's a quite good Enterprise moment for what it is. It's a good character. I mean, that entire episode, but what visual summarizes it, more than, as they say, stinky.
Yeah, that's a very good episode. One I really enjoy.
Look at my episode guide in Carbon Creek. The moment when they reveal the Velcro, when they sell Velcro. That's a nice moment. It's smart. Oh, and the breadstick. Little payoff, but it works really well.
The breadstick.
The breadstick. Because at the start of the episode, they say, she won't touch food, so she's eating breadstick with a knife and fork, and they're like, "Come on, just eat it." And then the whole story is about patience and just living life, and at the end, she's successfully eating a breadstick with a knife and fork. It's cute. It's fun. It's cute. It's fun.
Yeah. Jeff Jacobs puts in $5.
Thank you.
The mass of a crashing ship could easily be a planet killer, even at quarter impulse. Well, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean, depends how fast it's going. It depends how it impacts. It didn't impact directly like a asteroid or a meteor would. It more like hit the water, kind of skimmed a little bit, then slid into the city. So,
and to be fair, I mean, Star Trek 3 and then Generations, I mean, these things cause no repercussions. So, and there's some conceits, It's like when you see a torpedo hit a location, and it's like this very powerful bomb, fireball, and it's like, oh, it's just a petrol explosion, huh? Not quite the power of an epic matter-antimatter explosion, is it?
That's because they can dial it back. They can set the explosive yield.
But you know what I mean? There's the exact same thing, but from Stargate Atlantis, where these awesome drones do awesome things, and yet they shoot some at a planet, and it's like petrol explosion. Like, this is really unimpressive. Another moment for Enterprise that I thought deserves a shout out, for just because the acting is just really good. The context of these scenes, I mean, not necessarily the entire episode, but again, I'll give you a couple of seconds to.
Great episode.
Yeah.
You seriously don't think all of us are warriors, do you, Captain?
Yeah, it's great. It's a surprisingly deep species study.
And a great the Hertzler, J.G. Hertzler, fantastic actor, and playing another Klingon, just amazing. I loved it.
Yes.
Yep. That being said, there's too many similarities between that and Star Trek 6, but that's a good thing in a way.
Yes.
Anyway.
But I'm guessing because they had lots of all the props and costumes, it was an efficient reuse as well.
Yeah. It just seems on a much smaller scale than it did in Star Trek 6 for some reason. It just felt a little cheaper.
It almost would have been better to have him in like the military court. Something way more dark and almost like the tribunal we saw in section 30, at the end of Discovery's second episode. Very, dark and symbolic, and more like the corrupt trial rather than the big, bright, open public forum that the Klingon trial implies.
Yeah.
That would have been kind of cool. And then we know that this guy is here just as a puppet of the greater cause, and when he actually does try and argue and he uses court cases against them, they, I don't know. I get what they're going for, but certainly it's a weird. And I really like the Dura stuff. Again, the Rupenthe stuff lets that down. I like everything else except the Rupenthe. The fact that we see the same flashbacks recycled from different perspectives is brilliant. Seeing Archer like, I'm going to destroy you, Duras, and he's like, but Captain, I am just a lowly Klingon. And then the reality is I'm saying, we're going to kill you, Archer! I love it. Love it.
We got another super chat. 229 euros.
Yes.
Odo and Curzon. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing.
Oh, sorry.
Odo plus Curzon was pretty awesome too.
I don't remember. I'm so sorry. Ooh. Damn strong episode. Let's see if I can find the end. Because as moments go, this hit my heartstrings.
Glad I don't have any of those.
Yeah. God. No. Although not necessarily heartstrings, more very, very well cinematography that we've never seen before. Well, there's two actually. I'm confusing moments, but I'll show you the other one. Sorry, slight delay. Let me try and find a good. There we go. This is a good screen cap. See if you can remember the episode as well. I don't think we could trick ourselves much. I felt this would be an easy. Sorry.
Tiburon said better pair Odo and Curzon or Tuvok and Neelix.
Why Kazon? Why Curzon? He's barely in it. I don't understand.
When they heard previous hosts all inhabit somebody in the on the station, so she can talk to them, he goes into Odo. That's why. And
he wants to keep the body and.
Yes.
So I was making the connection actually to Curzon, and I was like, he's only in it for like 2 death scenes.
Yeah.
Why is that? You know. But this is a moment from Enterprise that always hits me every single time I see that episode and this moment. And sorry, it's hard to represent the moment in a single frame, but take a look.
Oh, where she gets cut in half?
What?
Or exploded?
Kind of. It's the real one where it's the end of the episode and they're getting shot at and shot at and shot at and shot at, and the ship's just falling apart around them, and you genuinely get a sense of this ship is dying. This ship is absolutely wow. Like slow-mo and they repercussions. It was such a strong moment. I was like, damn. And then I was trying to find the other moment, where the thing breaks apart, but I can't remember what the episode's called. Oh, is it? Must be this.
What about the Defiant getting like blown apart?
No.
It was very visceral, that scene.
Yeah. And for the time, the VFX was tremendous. But no, that doesn't affect me, actually.
Because, it just gets replaced by the Sao Paulo, which then becomes the Defiant anyway.
Right, yeah.
Sans cloaking device, of course. There's no cloaking.
Yeah. Which I never noticed until we did the Defiant episode. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
No, seriously, I don't feel anything when that gets destroyed, really. Which is probably a little bit weird that I don't, but...
Yeah, it is weird.
Maybe also because, do you? Do you get all the
and I'm not even a Defiant fan.
Yeah.
But just the way it went down, just doing its thing, it was epic. That's how the Enterprise should have gone down. Instead of being self-destructed above Genesis.
Yeah, but was it doing its thing? It got ripped apart because it wasn't prepared, because it was, it got disabled in 2 hits and shot by 6 hits and blowed up. Like, it got...
Because of the Breen thing. But it was in the thick of battle when that happened.
But it wasn't shooting. It wasn't doing anything battle-y. Like, it think about it. If everyone, you don't know about Sargactic as well, but, if you went into a World War II set of submarines and you turn them all off, so they all just surface, and you shot them, it's like, you wouldn't really call it a battle, you'd call it slaughter.
Oh.
Like, it would have been cool to see it in a fight rather than go out like the,
Okay, fine. I disagree with you, but fine.
Whereas the same but different in First Contact, the build up of Worf, maybe that's got some, like, you feel that, and then it doesn't die like 2 seconds later.
I'm the exact opposite on that one, because it's like, it's a drift. It's fine. It's a footnote now.
Well, but
we're going to solve that. We're going to solve that problem with the Discovery technique. Line of dialogue. She's adrift, but salvageable.
Thank goodness. I found the other shot from Enterprise, which is a really good CG shot of half the crew getting murdered and the bridge getting blown up. We've never seen that before. That was a
cool shot.
And can you imagine reading that in the script saying the bridge gets destroyed and flown off? It's like, oh, huh. How are we doing that in 7 days?
Yeah.
No, it's again great. It was a good episode as well. See, I found a couple of Enterprise ones, Stuart.
Mm-hmm. You did.
There's a shirtless Kirk again.
We didn't say any animated series ones.
Nope.
Okay.
You just watched it. I don't have as many memories of that show. But yeah, please do. Okay, I'll keep talking. I do like, it's the only one I remember with the backwards going
There we go.
backwards ship
I'm
thing. I like that moment. Sorry,
I like where they attach the D7 to the bottom of the Enterprise in the one episode so they can escape the I think it's the time trap.
Is that what
Time
happens?
trap or the counterclock incident. They have
Oh.
to attach the bottom of the Enterprise to the top of the D7 so they can combine their power to get out. That's a cool shot.
Don't remember that happening, but okay.
Well, doesn't mean it didn't.
I
Look it up.
agree.
Look it up. Animated series Enterprise D7 attached or something. I forget. I think it's counterclock incident or time trap. I'm pretty sure it's time trap though. Pixels at Dawn. Oh, wait a minute. Michael Smith, $2. Missed that one. The episode with Worf on trial in DS9 was great.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, a lot of the trial ones are fantastic.
When
Pixels at
they
Dawn,
take him seriously.
Yeah. Pixels at Dawn, £5. Janeway to Neelix, dismissed. That's a Starfleet expression for it. Get out.
Okay.
A lot of Janeway lines are good, especially when they rub on coffee.
And I feel like I feel like we could have whole debates on these different characters, but I don't necessarily understand the hate for Janeway.
I don't either. I don't understand the hate for Neelix either.
He was doing his darndest to make everyone feel better. He's just a happy-go-lucky chap with both amazing people skills and flawed people skills, and he meets somewhere in the middle. Because he does make people feel better if they try not to, like the, the amount of times the subtle mess hall moments when he does talk them through something, versus he's just there as about the joke moments. There's both, but he is,
Yeah. Well, I like his character, to be fair. Ryan Gustafson puts in $27.99 Canadian. Thank you very much.
Crazy man, Ryan. Thank you.
I can pretty much find good in all Trek, no matter which episode, movie. Yeah, we're the same way. And
You've got to. You should do.
And we'll watch Trek over any show. If I had to get my entertainment from The Bachelor, I'm pretty sure I'd end up like Ducat. Fair enough. Yeah, I watch Star Trek pretty much daily, so it's like a thing.
It's a good franchise. I mean, I think I appreciate that it's less stigmatized than it used to be.
Yeah.
But by the same token,
now it's polarized, not stigmatized. Now it's polarized.
Yeah, by the same tangent, we've got all these new fans that
hate us because our stuff looks stupid.
Yeah, it's, and I will keep referring back to Star Trek only exists in its current form, only existed again because the fans of the letter writing campaign. Fans are still alive, not Alzheimer's-y, like completely normal age. They brought it back. They allowed the million jobs to be created over the course of 50 years. The fans, them. So please respect them in making your Trek. And if you whereas if you want the new audience, the modern people, as I said, when all access is a great idea if done right. Random people, why would they pay another subscription just to watch another show? Why would you? You wouldn't. You don't. End of. And obviously in Europe you just watch on Netflix. There isn't even that conversation. So it's a new fan versus old fan is a someone said to me, and I thought it was a ridiculous comment, and I think you will certainly back this up, is that as old fans are dying out, they don't buy toys anymore. It's all the new fans are buying toys and merchandise, and the old fans are such a small percentage of the buying power. And I'm like,
oh wow, whoever said that is misguided, and I dare say stupid.
I had a long comment back expressing it's the exact opposite.
I still buy the toys. I buy the collectibles because I'm older. I have a disposable income. The kids are out of the house.
You have 50 years of memories.
These are exactly. These are the marketing. So to say that is totally
absurd.
That's a good word for it.
How many 20-year-olds are buying TOS toys? Unless their parents got them into TOS, and then you should credit the older people who are still buying the toys. Young people didn't buy JJ stuff. That's why it went off the shelves. They aren't making Discovery toys. They aren't making Discovery action figures. As a thing or two. So no, it's all the old people. There's a reason why TOS is the biggest selling merchandise and has never stopped being. guess who's buying that? The older people. So I most of the profit from Trek comes from your age range, older and slightly younger.
Mm-hmm.
You're the exact demographic
Mm-hmm.
of Star Trek, the ideal demographic.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's true.
and if you make good stories, people will come. Like Beyond, in sort of. You know, that was a closer balance.
Like Jeff Jacobs, one of our moderators and admins, he's a little bit older than me, but he's got a huge collection of stuff that he's always sharing with the group. He's the kind of people that they're aiming for. Him and me, and
yeah,
absolutely.
And the reason I spent God knows how much on the Eagle Moss collection is because my parents got me into Star Trek and they were of that generation.
Yeah, exactly.
The reason I have 4 uniforms and spent God knows how much money is because of them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how many people are buying Expanse toys and all these modern sci-fis that don't have these legs? I mean, yeah. That's why I said to you, the smartest thing for All Access to have done would have been, right, if we get this many subscribers, then you're paying for us to remaster DS9 and Voyager. You know, there's goals per month. If we can, you know, then Trek fans who have valuable income and valuable age range can get real value. You know, if we get another 1 million subscribers by the end of the month, we'll commission a 6-episode Voyager miniseries. You know, fuck it.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
yes.
A few super chats. We're at 2 hours and 5 minutes. We should wrap this up.
Yep, final super chats. Thanks, guys.
Richard Kennedy puts in $1.99. Carol Marcus, Into Darkness. That's all you have to say. Yes, that's one of those moments. So,
and I
tip my hat to you, sir.
And I am very happy to report I'm absolutely doing a photo shoot with her at the next destination.
Is she going to be wearing the same thing she was in that scene?
Even less.
Even less?
That's a premium package. You're terrible.
Anyway.
But yeah, I'm moving forward to getting that picture because I liked her anyway before.
Nice,
I think she was great in that role. She should have been in Beyond, but they said they didn't know where to take her if they put her in Beyond, even though they were setting up to be in Beyond.
Well, 300 rubles.
Thank you.
Bashir and Garrick dialogue, all of them. Yeah, pretty much. Garrick's dialogue, just in general, with anybody, especially in A Pale Moonlight with Cisco, that was just awesome.
Although one interesting comment on Garrick is that there was an interesting thing that someone said at convention, I think, that Garrick was only in like 20 episodes of...
Yeah, exactly.
He was in a very small percentage, but it's such a massive... ridiculous how much of an impact he had given the small... You know, he only got a huge part in the episodes he's in, so it wasn't, you know, screen time had a lot of minutes, but episodes very small. Yeah. Amazing.
Daniel Dunlop puts in $5. Tuvix was a great episode, and that one that really makes you mad. It really gets you emotionally involved. It does, and I liked Tuvix, but I like Tuvok and I like Neelix. So, yeah.
I see. For me, Tuvix is sad, but there's only one choice at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it's a good episode, and it's an interesting episode, and it was a well done episode.
Yeah. Well, Ryan Gustafson puts in $39.99 Canadian, so $40. I'm not a crazy man.
$3.99, just $4.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know where I got that from. Sorry.
I think Stuart is the crazy one,
Next.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan. Much appreciated. It really, really does help the channel. Thank you.
Oh, 34 would be better. I'm just kidding. Tiburon puts in $5. Great moments in Star Trek continues. Lots of those as well, but that's another topic for another day. We're not going to get into that. Don't even start, because you start and we won't be. That's another topic.
I think we owe him one. I think he's super chatted. We owe him one each. That's only fair.
Sure. One each.
Yeah.
First introduction of McKenna for me. That conversation she had with Kirk in the hallway, where he kind of brushed her off because he didn't want her there.
It's a stupid one. When in watching Pilgrims of Eternity, I realised that Michael Forrest was actively changing his haircut, colour, and style throughout the episode.
Yeah.
It's real subtle until you realise it. It's like, oh damn, guys.
Yeah.
Because what the hell is his real hair? Did he actually have lots of hair or not lots of hair? Like what? I still don't know. Like, I've seen him; he's got lots of hair. Otherwise, so I was confused. But I thought that was a great.
And Sylvia just chimed in with one of hers. Shame, Mr. Clemens. Shame.
Shame on you, Mr. Clemens. Shame.
That was from the episode with
Time 0.
Time 0, yes. We just watched that the other day.
Oh, yeah. And so Tiberium, that's you're the last super chat, unless someone wants to jump in as we do the closing. So thanks everyone for I think we said about 170 the entire time. So thanks all. Lots of great things. Any closing thoughts, Stuart?
Not specifically. I mean, this is a topic we'll probably revisit it from time to time, because you always think of new ones.
Yeah.
If I think of any, because I didn't have a list prepared this time, but I think this is something we will come back and look at again. So thank you to everyone that joined us. And there's so many more great moments, just subtle little things, little lines, little character interactions that I really enjoy whenever they happen. So I need to make a note of them.
And I found one when I was scrolling through my images. I forgot all lines between that Spock and that Kirk in 4. There's some really great stuff. So there we go. Yeah, I think next time we'll do maybe a pick 10 each that we haven't talked about and have images and be able to get a bit more focused. Or
we'll both watch a specific movie beforehand and pick out our favorites from that, and then have a list and go based on that.
That'd be fun. Yeah. And if we watch different movies, then we can be like, having the bounce of saying it to each other, or just say movie and what do we pick?
Yeah.
That sounds fun actually, because that's a very different sort of review. It's like, what are your 10 best fun? Because I think I would pick like production things and costume. That's a good idea. Good job. That's fun. Someone said, can we get 150 likes? Yes, guys. Can we get 130 likes? 20 more likes, guys.
Total Anthony says, can we get some Sylvia before you guys go?
We want 19 more likes, guys.
I don't have any pants on.
Can we get more likes for that? Can we get 150 likes just for that comment?
Fit for human consumption.
I disagree.
8 more likes. 8 more likes. No, you guys have been great today. Thank you so much.
I'm sure you're just saying, hi guys, see you on Sunday, maybe.
Hi guys, see you on Sunday.
There you go.
I'm not wearing pants.
Well, Doug has... No, I'm not going to go into it. So Stuart will see you tomorrow night for Discovery Review, and we'll see you for a very busy Friday with the Saru. The Saru episode. Yeah.
That's right.
And 131 likes. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. Until next time, here's Captain Foley.
I am Captain Foley, yes. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks, bud.
And he's somebody too. Oh, we got Daniel Dunlop, $5. Last chance, discussing about preferred future shows or movies.
Oh, really?
Discussion about preferred future shows.
Well, that could be a whole separate live, is I think what he's asking for. We'll say.
Oh, okay, yeah. We'll say that, because we should be going.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you very much, Daniel, and everybody else. Bye.